the man who beat the courts, the FBI, and even death itself. But they were wrong, because John Gotti didn't fall from a bullet. He fell from his own voice. This is the untold story of how the Teflon Don ruled New York, and how silence in the wrong room destroyed everything. John Gotti was born into poverty in the streets of New York, one of 13 children in a struggling Italian family. Life wasn't easy, and it wasn't kind. Pain didn't break him. It built him. Gotti slowly climbed the ranks of the Gambino crime family, one of the most powerful mafia organizations in America. But he was different. While others hid in the shadows, Gotti stepped into the light. Expensive suits, sharp haircuts, public appearances. He wasn't just a mobster, he was becoming a celebrity. And that alone broke one of the oldest rules in the Mafia: stay invisible. But Gotti didn't care, because fear follows attention. Arrests started coming, trials followed, but nothing stuck. Witnesses disappeared, cases collapsed, evidence failed. The media gave him a name, the Teflon Don. Because no matter what the government threw at him, it never stuck. And Gotti loved it. He would smile outside courtrooms, wave to reporters, and walk like a man already declared innocent. But every empire built on pride eventually attracts attention. The wrong kind. Behind the scenes, the FBI was running out of patience, so they changed strategy. They secretly installed a listening device in an apartment above the Ravenite Social Club, Gotti's unofficial headquarters, and it worked. Gotti, believing he was safe, started talking freely about murders, about decisions, about his own men. He didn't realize it, but every word was being recorded. The Teflon Don wasn't untouchable anymore. He was exposed. Inside those recordings was something even more dangerous than evidence: disrespect. Gotti was heard blaming his closest allies, including Sammy the Bull Gravano. Gravano listened, and what he heard changed everything. Because in the Mafia, loyalty is everything. But humiliation? That's unforgivable. So Gravano made a decision. He turned informant. The man who once protected Gotti would now help destroy him. In 1992, John Gotti finally faced a trial that couldn't be escaped. Anonymous jury, FBI recordings, inside testimony from his own underboss. This time, nothing slipped away. The Teflon was gone. Now he was the Velcro Don, because everything finally stuck. Gotti was convicted on multiple charges and sentenced to life in prison without parole. The King of New York was finished. From power and luxury to a prison cell. Gotti spent his final years behind bars as his health declined. He was diagnosed with throat cancer and transferred to a federal medical prison. No suits, no headlines, no crowds, just silence. In 2002, John Gotti died in prison, far from the streets he once ruled. They called him untouchable. But in the end, it wasn't bullets that took John Gotti down. It was pride. And the fatal mistake of forgetting that, in the world of shadows, even walls have ears. So the question remains, was John Gotti a genius, or just a man who believed his own legend too much?